All right, so Sammy C asked, I love the fact that you're playing Fallout 4. Has the viewership been good enough for a full playthrough? Yes, but also, um, it's not that the viewership is good. That's not what dictates alone what gets a playthrough. So, mostly I play new releases. So, as an example, yesterday we played High on Life 2. We've been playing the most recent chapter of Dune Awakening. Tuesday, we're playing Styx, Blades of Greeds on a key from Nacon, and we've also got Norse Oath of Blood coming up, as well as Towerborn. We also tried the demo for Replaced. So I mostly focus on new games here. What I will do in between new releases is I will play either games that I want to play, first impressions videos, demos, or in the case of things like, I love Bethesda games, so I will always circle back to Bethesda games. I will also circle back to things like Lord of the Rings Online or Star Wars: Old Republic, because those are games that I can play infinitely, get infinite enjoyment out of, and generally get good viewership. But here's an interesting thing. Like yesterday, um, I have a hard rule on if the numbers drop below a certain point, I just don't play it anymore. Or if I'm not having fun, I won't play it anymore. Yesterday, we played High on Life 2. The game just came out, released in the Xbox Game Pass. We played it for 2 hours yesterday. The viewership was not there. I won't be continuing that game, even though it's a new release. And even though I did have a little bit of fun, um, wasn't a bad game, but the viewership just wasn't there. So if the viewership isn't there, I'm going to move on and play other things where I do get viewership. We get viewership with anytime I play a Bethesda game, there's going to be viewership. Lord of the Rings Online, there's viewership. Star Wars: Old Republic. That's why those games are the games that I will play in between the other projects that I do, because the viewership is there. And this is the day job, and that's what pays the bills, because advertising revenue and memberships and subscriptions on YouTube and Twitch, that all drives the revenue. I had a sniffle there, sorry. So, the viewership for this is great. However, I don't know that this gets a full playthrough because it's just going to depend on all the other things they have going on. We did a full playthrough of Skyrim over the holidays. That became, after the full playthrough was done, I'm on my third character now in Skyrim. I'm not playing Skyrim all the time anymore. That was a very brief window of time for a few weeks. So what I'm doing with Skyrim now is on Sundays. On Sundays, I play Destiny 2 in the mornings, and then I play Skyrim right after that. Sundays for me is the day where I get to play the games that I want to play, and I don't really care about the viewership so much. Whereas Monday through Saturday, I do have to worry about the viewership because sponsorships and the companies I work with expect to see a minimum amount of traffic and a minimum amount of viewership for the things that I do with the companies that I work with. So I do have to focus on making sure that the viewership is there. Because if I play a game, as an example, yesterday when we played High on Life 2, I'm not a huge streamer. I'm not. I would say I'm low on the totem pole if you want to be honest about it. I am full time, and I've been full time for 4 years. We're coming up on our 5th year full time um, on the 17th, which I think is Monday or Tuesday, something like that. And I do pretty good numbers. I think most days on a good day when we're playing a game where lots of people are tuning in, I'd say right now we're in the 120 to 150 people watching range. 120 to 150 people watching across YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. That's a pretty good standard. And then on certain days, like with Skyrim, Fallout 4, Bethesda games in general, Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars Republic, those types of games, or new releases, generally speaking, I might get like 150 to 200. That's a good day. That's a pretty good day to have those numbers tuning in. And then sometimes when we're playing something really new, like last year doing Dune Awakening's release, we had like 700 people just on Twitch. Then we had like 300 people on YouTube. You know, we had big numbers for that game at launch. And those types of things will happen when you'll see a huge surge. But we can. One of the things I love about tracking my data for the past 4 years is we can go back when I was only getting like 12 people for every stream, and then we started having 25 people per stream, and then 35 people per stream, and then 60 people per stream, and then 80 people per stream. And now we're in that bracket of like a good minimum for me is 120. 100 to 120 people watching across all 4 platforms. That's a pretty good number. Yesterday during the High on Life stream, my viewership on Twitch dropped to 8 people watching High on Life 2. And I looked at that and I immediately was like, how long have I been playing? I've been playing for an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, I wrapped up at 2 hours and I moved on. Because 8 people watching me play a game on Steam is not enough. And it's going to tank my numbers for the companies that I work with. So I need to make sure that generally speaking, we have a good viewership. So most days on Twitch, I will see 25 to 40 people. Just on Twitch, I'll see, it just depends on the day, 50 to 80 on YouTube. Kick sees a few of them out. Right now we have 60 people on TikTok right now. So it just kind of depends each day where the viewership goes. But that's the longer answer to, yes, the viewership has been great for Fallout 4, but this is not a new release, so I don't focus on this. The plan was to play High on Life 2 today, but the viewership was so shitty yesterday that we're not playing High on Life 2 today. We're playing Fallout 4 because this is getting good traffic. And this afternoon, if you'll notice, we also started playing Diablo 4 recently, um, as we prepare our Paladin for the DLC launch. And on Diablo 4 the other day, we had like, I think, 90 people on YouTube. We had about 60 people on Twitch. And then we had at one point like 80 people on TikTok, and I think about 20 people on Kick. That's a very strong stream. So obviously Diablo 4 is doing good for us as well. Um, you know, I am conscious about those things because when it comes to sponsorships and everything else, like I run everything, a lot of my campaigns are run through lurkit.com, which is a website where you plug in all your numbers, and the companies that I work with, that system automatically shows to the companies, it automatically shows what your average viewership is on all the platforms. And so if I play a game where I'm only getting 8 people watching a stream, all of a sudden my average stream number drops dramatically, and I can go from having an overall average of 30 people watching a stream on Twitch to being like 15, and all of a sudden I'm locked out of campaigns that I could otherwise be getting paid for. So it is a thing you have to worry about in terms of if you're going to be doing this for a living and if you're going to be doing this as a job, you do have to be conscious of the numbers. And so, yeah, in between new releases, I'll definitely focus on things where I'm getting good viewership. And if you're looking at a game like Fallout 4, absolutely the viewership is good. I get good viewership, period, with Bethesda games. But it just depends on new releases. So, like next Tuesday, we're going to be jumping in and doing Styx Blades of Greed because Nakon sent me early access to that. So we're going to be testing that out and seeing how that goes. We've got Norse Oath of Blood. Those are both next week. So we'll be testing the waters with those and seeing how those go. And then going from there. Let me get caught up on chat here. Did I manage to get Dune Awakening working again? I did not, Allie. Actually, they had me. I am finally in contact with customer support. They had me send over a bunch of logs this morning. I literally just did that before I went live this morning. So I sent my logs off. I still don't know. How do I keep up with all the different games and different controls? Generally speaking, most games have standard controls. So, and I play enough games. It's a muscle memory thing. So it's no different than when you go to the gym and you work out on like 20 different machines. Every different machine has a different movement. But once you've accustomed yourself, once you've acclimatized to all the different machines at the gym, even if you don't use a specific machine for a few weeks, when you go back to that machine, you have muscle memory because your body is quickly like, oh yeah, I've used this machine before. That's how it works with games too. So, I've got 2 different controllers, and Bethesda games have a weird thing of using like the Y button for a jump and other games do the A button or whatever. It's just you get used to it. Other games, I will remap things from time to time if it's a weird layout and I can remap. Yeah. Let me go over here and check this chat too. Favorite Fallout faction? I mean, I'm enjoying all the things I do. I like Brotherhood of Steel for the tech, but I do like the Minutemen for their methodology. Somebody asked, why do you play these old games? I think I just answered that in the middle of that spiel. I will mix in old games with new games to keep the viewership up. Morning Dew says your videos got me back into Fallout. Appreciate looking at it in new light. Thank you for your take on RP. Will you be playing Oblivion Remaster? I've already played Oblivion Remaster last year. Playlist is on YouTube. What happened to Diablo 4? I already mentioned that. We are actively playing Diablo 4, but I don't play the same game every day. I'm a variety streamer, so I play 2 streams a day, sometimes 3 streams a day, and we play multiple games every single day. What happens if I enjoy the game? Then I play it on a Sunday because Sunday is the day for me to play games that I want to play. I think I answered that earlier. Sunday is the day where I play the games that I want to play without worrying about the traffic. Your mom's favorite RPG. You like that title? What was my core? Yeah, variety streaming. I've got a whole series on YouTube talking about how to make a living as a content creator and streamer. I talk about my journey, why I went variety streamer rather than niche. Crimson Desert? Yeah, we can't wait for that game. It's gonna be fun to play. Is Diablo 4 better than PoE 2 for casual players? Oh, fuck yeah. They're both great games, but Diablo 4 is the ultimate casual ARPG experience because you can put it in easy mode and story mode and just play it. All right, I think I've caught up on all the chat. So that was a great little question. Thank you for that. As always, as these get clipped out on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. But we are always live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. We may add more platforms to the live streaming services. You never know. But that is where we stream for now. We are live every morning from 5 a.m. Central. It is currently 5:30 in the morning. Thanks for tuning in. Everything in between the streams happens on YouTube, so get over there. Don't forget the Discord, all the socials, the Patreon, the merch store, the Amazon store for all my books, and of course, the Homestead channel for ducks and chickens and cats. All right.